3, does ID page loop make sense if you don't have a GMB? Yes, it does, because although the add ID page stuff that we started with, you know, I guess it was in 2018, February 2018, I think. It was originally tied to just local business structure data, but it's beyond that now. Marco, you can talk a little bit more. I only do local, but you can talk a little bit about that more. An ID page is just a reference area for an entity. It's telling the Googlebot to go that all of the entity information that will help to validate that entity is in this location, and that's what we use the ID page for. Is that correct?
Yeah, everything on the web has a node. Okay, everything connected to the web. So even if you have a smart refrigerator, a smart range, a smartphone, a smart TV, whatever smart device you have, that's going to have a node. And the question now is, how do we identify that node for the bot to understand what this connection is to whatever it is that we're doing? And what's happening, how that's being done now is at local, is how it started, but now you have organization. Mm-hmm. So you can have an ad ID for your organization, and what that does is it identifies the organization node where all of your organizational information resides. And so that's how we do it. That's how we target it. But you can have multiple ad IDs. Like you can have a web page ad ID. You have a product ad ID. You're just naming the node for the product, the website, the web page, just whatever. You're identifying it for the bot. These are identifiers. And how two nodes get connected, well, that's the URL, right? It's a hyperlink. They're connected through a way for each one to talk to one another. Well, that's HTTP, HTTPS, and the way that the World Wide Web is intermeshed, right? Interlinked, so that everything is identified and connected through an IP, or however it is that connection is made. Now, as far as the question is concerned, does an ad ID page loop make sense? It makes sense because it's an entity loop. We named it and the ad ID loop originally, but what we were doing is we were creating an entity loop, and we were sending Google hopping from one place to another that contained nothing but our entity's information and everything related to our entity. And we were just echoing it over and over and over and over again. We were able to trap the bot in that echo. It's like an echo chamber, right? Or that endless mirror where it just bounces back and forth. And we've seen it. We've seen it happen. We can see it. We can see the bot in there going back and forth through the iframes. We can see it reading the information in the iframes. These are the things that we've proven. So is it? Yes. Of course it makes sense. It makes total sense, because if not, you're not identifying your entity properly for the bot.
Thank you. It was a thorough answer. So